Welcome again to John's Jazz Joint. Myself, John, and Lisa are pleased to bring you another session, a little bit of jazz history and some jazz pieces. Today we're going to be looking at a musician who had a wonderful career. His name was Nat King Cole, Nathan Cole, and we have a picture of Nathan here. He had a wonderful career. He had over 100 songs that became hits, popular hits. We're going to talk a little bit in the beginning about the first session, the first part of three parts actually. We're going to be looking at his early career, and suffice to say that his father was a minister and his mother played the organ in the church. So it was pretty natural progression for Nat King Cole to learn to play the organ and the piano from his mother. And that went on pretty much to the age of 12. From 12 to 15, he took professional lessons, and it ranged all the way from the classics to jazz to pop. So that when his brother, who was also a musician, came back with a troupe that was performing a play called, or a musical production called Shuffle Along, why at the age 15, Nat left school and joined the band. His father didn't think a great deal of that. He thought that was not the best use of his time, but he allowed it. And so for the next 2 years, Nat Cole went with his brother across the country from the East Coast to the West Coast, putting on this musical production of Shuffle Along. However, when they got to California, they kind of ran out of steam and they ran out of money and ran out of engagements. So they had to disband. In fact, what helped that along was one of the musicians took their $800 and absconded with it so that they were left without any money. So at age 17, Nat found himself in California and he began playing the piano in honky tonks and clubs and dives and that sort of thing. A couple of interesting things happened to him in the course of this. The group had recorded a song called Sweet Lorraine, and one night he was playing in a nightclub, and one of the drunken patrons came up and kind of slurred that he wanted Nat to sing. And this was a little bit different because Nat had been an instrumentalist. He was playing along with some other musicians. Nat refused because he's just simply said he wasn't a singer. Well, the guy insisted, and so the owner of the nightclub came to Nat and he said, "Listen, he wants you to sing. He spends $3 a night here. Sing." And so that's how Nat King Cole began singing. And at another event when he was performing, somebody got one of these paper mache crowns and put it on his head, I suppose as a joke, but it very quickly became Nat King Cole. And if you know the nursery rhyme about Nat King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he, it sort of stuck with him. So from these two little events, we get the picture of Nat King Cole, singing musician. He did a lot of cover songs, and that's basically what we're going to start off with today, a couple of cover songs. They were done by other people as well, but Nat sort of made them his own. In the later sessions, we're going to look at songs that are basically Nat King Cole songs that when you hear the song, you think immediately of Nat King Cole. And we'll talk more about his life as it progresses. So the first song is kind of a time warp song. It goes back to the Mills Brothers, I suppose. It's all about guys who are frustrated with dealing with real live women, and it's an easier thing to do to deal with a paper doll. And so the song The Paper Doll was developed, and that's going to be our first offering today. Just give me a moment here to right my ship. And you can imagine Nat King Cole, Dean Martin, the Mills Brothers, all kinds of fellas made this song very popular. I guess I had $1,000,000 or more. I guess I played the doll game far and door. I just quarreled with Sue. That's why I'm blue. She's gone away and left me just like all dolls do. I tell you, boys, it's tough to be alone. And it's tough to love a doll that's not your own. I'm through with all of them. I'll never fall again, 'cause this is what I'll do. I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own. A doll that other fellas cannot steal. And then the flirty, flirty guys with their flirty, flirty eyes will have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, she will be waiting. She'll be the truest doll in all this world. I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own than have a fickle-minded, real life girl. Well, you can tell that song was put together before equal rights and all that sort of thing. So Nat then was pretty much living off the mainstream music, and we are going to move to another song now that is done by many other artists. That's why it's a cover song. That's the idea that you cover something that somebody else has done. And so this one is a favorite of mine. It's also done by Leon Redbone. If you're at all familiar with Leon, he does a very nice job on this. But this is another Nat King Cole, and it goes something like this. Start again here. When I take my sugar to tea, all the boys are jealous of me, 'cause I never take her where the gang goes. When I take my sugar to tea, I'm a rowdy dowdy, that's me. She's a hi-hat baby, that's she. So I never take her where the gang goes when I take my sugar to tea. Every Sunday afternoon, we forget about our cares, rubbing elbows at the Ritz with those millionaires. When I take my sugar to tea, I'm as ritzy as I can be, 'cause I never take her where the gang goes when I take my sugar to tea. So there's sort of the other side of the coin, from paper doll to taking your sugar to tea. So as time moved on, um, Nat began to sort of hone his craft. He, with his brothers, they had recorded some music.